Good day, planet Earth. Michael Litten, the last DJ host of Ride the Vibe, broadcasting from the wicked awesome DRS-ATL studio right here in Roswell, Georgia. I have my mate and friend Wahid Gomes on the technology. There would not be a Ride the Vibe without Wahid, because I don't know technology from the man on the moon. I can barely operate my phone. But Wahid works the magic, which is super cool. And for those musicians out there that are looking for a way to make some money while you sleep, and who wouldn't want to do that? Wahid has a super cool boutique publishing group, Verde Music Group, and get you hooked up with some sync licensing. So that'd be pretty neat for you. But at any rate, I am fired up beyond measure to have back on the show. It was all the way back in 24 that Andrew Knightley was on the show. And AK and the Red Kites is a modern rock band with a retro-infused vibe, bearing big riffs and vast melodic soundscapes. How awesome is that? The cornerstone of this exciting venture is the frontman and guitarist, the aforementioned Andrew Knightley, and he's been working with multi-platinum award-winning producer Mike Krompass. Krompass. Everybody loves an outlaw. This new release, Hotter Than the Sun, showcases Knightley's eclectic range as a songwriter and musician, ranging from full high-tempo hard rockers to panoramic swamp vibes, like down New Orleans, who just had their jazz festival, with incursions into country, blues, rock territory in the vein of Revival Sons, Greta Van Fleet, and ZZ Top. And you can get this new album, Hotter Than the Sun, and actually go buy the copy. And they've got a cool setup where you can get the CD and some merch together in a package. And you can do that at www.akandtheredkites.com. Andrew, welcome back.
Hello, Mike. How you doing? It's good to be back.
Oh, my gosh. We're super fired up to have you back.
Awesome.
It's hard to believe, as we were talking in the run-up to the show, that it's been 2 years. It's just flown by. And
yeah,
really,
it does.
Really hyped to focus on this new album. And for those fans of yours that are huge and continuing to grow and are going to be even more astronomical when they hear this great album, but may not be familiar with Ride the Vibe, the way it's kind of, I like to call it at the high level, old a CD vinyl listening party format, right? Where we, back in the day, we'd queue up the album and we'd play the album and we'd get the album liner notes and we'd be able to read all about it, et cetera, get a beverage of our choice. Here in the studio, we're featuring a company that we like a lot, Drinkmate. They're the Carbonate Anything drink maker. If you're looking for a way to get yourself off those toxic sugar-sweetened beverages, Drinkmate is a great product. And they are available in the UK. And if you're inclined, check them out. You can use the promo code RTV20 and get yourself a 20% discount off of that product and get off those sugar-sweetened beverages. So, Andrew, we're gonna actually do what we say we're gonna do here as an old-fashioned album listing party. We're gonna play the entire CD album / electronic format or whatever, all the way through, all 11 songs. But, y'all, we're not playing the whole song. We're only going to do 2 minutes because we want you to go to akandtheredkites.com and buy the actual product and listen to it the way Andrew and his mates Ash on drums and Rob on bass laid it out. And so we're going to play the whole thing, 2 minutes of each song. It's spectacular. And in fact, I'll give you a little quote that comes from Darren McIntyre. He's with Jade Media out of Scotland. And he says of Hotter Than the Sun, what makes Hotter Than the Sun truly stand out is its consistency. There's no filler, no throwaway moments. Each track carries its own identity, its own story, and critically, its own single-worthy appeal. That's no small feat for a debut. AK and the Red Kites have delivered an album that doesn't just introduce them, it announces them loud, proud, and impossible to ignore. And I couldn't have said it better. Shout out to Darren McIntyre with Chase Media. So without further ado, We're going to play this album in its entirety. We're going to take a short break after that to support a foundation for premature infants near and dear to my heart. And then we're going to come back, just like y'all had Andrew in your living room, and talk to him about this album. So without further ado, let's hear Hotter Than the Sun.
troubles no more. We've been cooking up the potions, gonna blow your mind. Step inside, rock my soul. shoveling, dig away that dirt over your shoulder. Been digging in the gold mine, but we threw it all away. Casting our pearls before swine. Been digging in the gold mine, but we threw it all away. Casting our pearls before swine. Keep digging. Get in line for your testimony. We keep consuming, but it's always about the money, money. You gotta keep on shoveling, dig away that dirt. Over your shoulder, been digging in the gold mine, but we threw it all away. Casting our pearls before swine. Been digging in the gold mine, but we threw it all away. Casting our pearls before swine. Keep digging. time to stand up tall. Let's get mobilized. In the gutter too long. Now we realize that when we stand together, yeah, we'll stand strong. This is how we'll get back to where we belong. Hand held deep, we stand together. Hand held deep, we stand strong. Now's the
The number of premature infants born in the United States each year, 380,000. That's 9.8% of the total births in the U.S. The Foundation for Premature Infants' mission is to advocate for the right of all premature infants to be cared for in a developmentally supportive and age-appropriate manner. Our vision is to ensure that Premature Infants' Bill of Rights is the standard of care for all babies born prematurely, 24 hours per day, 365 days per year on all shifts in every neonatal intensive care unit throughout the world. Please consider making a donation by visiting us on Facebook, Foundation for Premature Infants, or at our website, foundationforprematureinfants.org.
Oh my gosh, I would have to absolutely agree with Darren McIntyre with Chase Media. That is a spectacular new album. Andrew can't tell you how much I have enjoyed listening to it. And so talk about the work on that project and all things that you've been doing since we chatted last in 24.
Yeah, cool. So thank you for the kind words. And it was very, very kind of Darren to say that. So, back when we chatted last, it was during the release of the Proverbial Storm EP, which was our 6-track EP that came out then. So, since then, we've just kind of been playing some shows around the place, working on even more new music, trying to get the album out there, which has taken us a little while, but it finally is out on the 8th of May, which may be probably after this goes out, before this goes out, so it'll already be out. But it's indeed an album of songs. So the idea for this whole album, when I first started working with Mike around 2-3 years ago.
And say his last name, because I butchered it, and I apologize to Mike.
I was going to say so, but anyway. It's just Krompass. It's kind of like compass, but there's an R in there too. Okay. So it's Krompass.
I'll blame it on my being a dumb American. And speaking of, I just have to tell an embarrassing story from our last show. So we were talking about how, the red kites, and you were, in your house and you're watching these red kites flying, and that was an inspiration and this and that. And I'm so ignorant. I go, Andrew, really? Wow, why were so many people out flying red kites? You go, no, Michael, you silly American. We have red kites that are birds over here in the UK. Oh, my God.
Yeah. No, it's an easy mistake. There's all kinds of kites, but the red ones are the most common. But they're kind of related to the bald eagle. They look very similar to your American eagles. Except they have like slightly redder colours and pointy tails and whatever, but they're birds of prey.
And your house, just for ignorant Americans like myself, you're just a little bit outside of London, is that right, Andrew?
Yeah, just northwest of London in the Chiltern Hills, which is in Buckinghamshire.
Yeah. Are you native, born and raised there, that part?
No, I grew up in Cambridgeshire. Over like East Anglia. And then moved to London later on. I was in London for like 20 years. Wow. And then I moved out here, I think like 21, sort of post-pandemic kind of time. Yeah. So I've been here about 5 years now, but love it, yeah.
And then how'd you hook up with your mates, Ash on drums and Rob on bass? Talk a little bit about that.
I met Rob in the pub, really. So we were just out drinking and, sort of trying to, meet the locals and stuff, meet the natives when we first moved here. And just got chatting to Rob. He's actually quite a big kind of sort of Doom fan, and he's been in a couple of like sort of Doom bands before and stuff like that. So, but we sort of had a shared love of all kinds of music. And I just sort of mentioned to him that I might kind of need a bass player, and I'm trying to put the band together for this album that I'd recorded, and we're, looking to do something. And he's like, well, I might have to jump in on bass, and this is sort of almost said in jest, a bit drunk. And I was like, you might. So,
and what were the drinks of choice? Just Guinnesses? Were you doing the Guinness thing, or?
It was probably some kind of IPA mixed in with a few cocktails, maybe a few margaritas, Lagunitas, that kind of thing. Who knows? Can't remember on that particular night.
Yeah.
But so that kind of happened. And then Ash, we just kind of met him. He lives about an hour away. And I just met him on like a sort of musician site, like Musician Finder, one of these things. Can't remember now exactly which one.
Yeah.
And he came down, just kind of like nailed the parts, just could play the songs, and it was like, wow, that was cool. And we were just in a room together, the three of us, and it just sounded great. And we was going to get a second guitar player initially, but we just sort of decided we didn't really need it because it's that whole sort of power trio thing. It just kind of works sometimes, you know, and we just decided to stay the three of us, and that is how it really came about. Ended up being a trio.
I love it. And you was this recorded? Do I have it right that you recorded at the state of the art studio Bass Culture? Do I have that right?
Yeah, so that's Mike's. So Mike's is quite complicated. I always have to go through this because he's like Canadian.
Yeah.
But he went to LA, he lived in LA for years as a sort of touring musician and a producer. Then he was kind of a Nashville in-house songwriter and producer there.
Yeah.
And then he landed up near Sheffield in the UK. But he kind of had family over here. So anyway, I don't know. He moved his whole operation over here and was like sharing a studio, the Bass Culture studio, with a band called Bring Me the Horizon. I don't know if you know them. They're quite sort of screamo, quite heavy, but they're quite big over here.
Yeah.
I think they're quite big globally, but they sort of headlined Download Festival a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But they've got their studio in there as well. And it's basically recorded there. And it's all kind of, you know, like Dolby Atmos and all that stuff. He's got all the kind of latest sort of LA, Nashville kind of specs to all this stuff.
And he's multi-platinum award winning, Mike.
Yeah, for various different projects.
Big work with Steven Tyler, and as we mentioned, everybody loves an outlaw. So he's the real deal, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's co-written a lot of songs and kind of ghost-written stuff and all sorts. Worked with a lot of big pop acts and stuff as well in the US. So I mean, he's, you know, on it all the time. He's a very busy man. So, and now he's back in Canada again. So,
wow.
So that's kind of the story. There's a bit of a shift, and it's like that's the studio recorded at, but it's kind of not there anymore. So,
and you did Proverbial Storm and Hotter Than, all the songs were recorded there, and then you talk about the decision to do the EP and then the whole album, because all these songs are so strong. I mean, they all seem like they could be singles, but you made a decision to package them. Because there's a lot that goes into that, Andrew, from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, there was a kind of so the idea initially was to go in and do a 10-song album. That was all it was going to be to start with. And then Mike was like, well, I like this song too. So we did 11. Yeah. And I had other songs that we just didn't record because we had our 10, 11 songs. Yeah. And then about halfway through, he was like, you know, we should do some more and like look to try and, you know, get some kind of sync opportunities and stuff like that, which is still kind of going on behind the scenes. But anyway, so we ended up doing like 16 songs. And the Proverbial Storm EP kind of went out first as a bit of a kind of sort of a taster, I suppose, anyway, to put stuff out. And the rest of it wasn't all mixed and mastered and ready to go at the same time. So we put those 6 out first. And then, you know, the album has just sort of come along now. So, and one of the songs that was on Proverbial Storm, Stronger, kind of got editorial playlisted on Spotify. Yeah. Which is kind of quite a big deal for Spotify. I mean, it's had nearly 300,000 streams to date, which is not massive by, you know, like kind of global superstar standards, but by our standards.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, for sure. Well, and it well deserved.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I mean, I think that's a really cool song anyway. I really like that one. Yes. So we decided to put that on the album as well. So that made the sort of 11 song album. And the idea was always to write songs that were strong enough to stand on their own right.
Yeah.
It kind of runs and kind of reads as an album, and it's kind of meant to, but it wasn't like we're going in to do an album with a certain sound. It was like, we're going to record all of these songs as individual pieces, and then figure out how they go together. So that was sort of how the running order was quite tricky.
Yeah, talk about that, because that's fascinating, and that's the thing that sort of kind of angers me that people are out just buying the one-offs, because you guys put a lot of time, effort, and energy into the running order, which gets lost when people are just so. That's why we want people to go to akandtheredkites.com and buy the album, and you get a package, right, Andrew? You got a deal going where you can get the CD, hard copy of the CD, and a T-shirt and that kind of thing. Do I have that right?
Yeah, there's I think a couple of different bundles. So there's one where you get the EP, the album, and a T-shirt, or just the album and the T-shirt and stuff like that. We'll also be doing vinyl, which will go up shortly. That's not gonna. Wow. It won't get sent out till kind of October, but that's going to be like a sort of global release. Wow. We're going to do a sort of limited edition, numbered 100 copies initially, and see how it goes.
Oh, I love it.
So that's going to be available as well, like the vinyl edition. So that's really exciting. That'll be the first time I've ever actually put the vinyl album out.
Oh my gosh, that'll be like birthing a special child.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, talk about interrupted. Yeah, I apologize, but talk about how you've crafted the running order, because there's really a science to that.
Yeah. Well, it was. It's fine to listen to them, obviously, as one-offs, but when it came to it, I also wanted it to be, an album that does take you on a journey, doesn't stagnate, but equally, it's kind of getting those pieces together. It's a little bit of a Rubik's Cube in that, like, especially because they're all so unique. It's like, well, what sits with what? If you've just been on that kind of vibe with the song, where do you go next? Is that one going to work? Is that too far away? Is that too... So it was kind of like, it took me ages. I mean, the running order we've got was probably about my sixth attempt at it, if I'm honest, over a few months, because, you thought it's got to start with this song, it's got to end with this, so I'm going to fill it in. But then it's like, but what if we change it around completely? And what if Cosmic Train's the last song of the album? It's like, I think it was quite brave to do that, or foolish. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out.
I love it. Well, did you make the whole? I mean, was your decision, or did Ash and Rob and Mike have input, or how did that work?
No, it's sort of me in the end. I'll be honest. I mean, to be honest, I did send it to Ash and Rob, and they didn't really reply. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll just do it. If I'm honest, but but I mean, ultimately,
it was your
I just sat there playing with it, and then sent it to everyone, and Wes, kind of manager and sort of PR, he liked it. He was like, that's cool, man.
Well, and I'm glad you brought him up. We have to give a shout out to that Wes O'Neal guy, that Liverpool fan, who, Wes, we so greatly appreciate, or I appreciate the fact that we've gotten these killer introductions to people like Andrew and the Red Kites. So thank you, Wes O'Neal. Did he have some input, Andrew, or no? A little bit?
Not really input, but I mean, I always send him all the stuff anyway, just to see. Unless he says, no, that's terrible, don't do it, then I'm probably going to do it anyway.
And how did you like reorder it, the 6 different times you did it, and then listen to it all the way through and go, I think I should put this one here or that one there? Or...
Yeah. I mean, obviously, when you're doing it and kind of playing with it, like the first time you listen, right, you listen to every song in full, but then after a little while it gets to 20 seconds, that one, then skip to the end of it, and then go to the start of this one, skip to the end of this one. So it gets a little bit, but then you go away from it, come back the next day, listen to it in full again, and then eventually I don't know, I just settled on the order. I really like it. I think it really works.
It's unbelievable. Very, very cool. Every song, you just... with a Rebel Yell, want more and more and more, and hotter than the sun. This thing's, high octane rock and roll. So I just a curiosity, West Coast Romance, is it autobiographical at all, or
yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, I've like myself and my wife, we have gone a few times, done a few American trips, mostly to California.
Yes.
Because I think we discussed with you last time, I don't know if it was on air or off air, but we're going to do the whole musical pilgrimage as well, down from like Nashville down to New Orleans and everywhere in between and the Delta, but we haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
But so we've done the whole kind of, you know, California thing in the desert. Like we love it out in Joshua Tree.
Oh, you did Joshua,
in LA, and we go all out there. And we've done all wine country. Haven't been as far as San Francisco, but you know, all over, just kind of roaming around. And we've done that about 4 or 5 times. Been over to California. So.
Were you focused, Andrew, when you went to California on, you know, looking at the iconic, you know, kind of Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco thing and the Whiskey A Go-Go LA thing? Were you focused on music, the iconic music venues, if you will, or locations? Yeah,
definitely. Well, round sort of LA, like we didn't actually make it. We haven't made it yet to San Francisco, but we've been out to Vegas. But in terms of like the Strip and all that stuff, and then going on the little tourist things, and it takes you through the hills and stuff, and tells you about all the sort of Jim Morrison stuff. You know, it's really cool. And the Manson murder's house and all that sort of stuff, which isn't there. It's been replaced. But, you know, they tell you about all these different things. It's really cool. And we got friends who take us to all these different places and up to Malibu and that way as well, and Santa Monica. I mean, I love it. So, so it's really a song. It's just sort of a tribute to all that stuff, and that sort of
came through in the song. Your love came through in the song. So when you and your wife do your, you know, when you come back and you do your tour through the, you know, New Orleans, Nashville, etc., will it be performing as Andrew or AK and the Red Kites, or just the two of you guys doing it?
I'd love it to be a tour. I mean, at the moment, we're really just planning it as a sort of personal road trip. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Yeah. But we'd have to, you know,
a lot of moving pieces.
Kind of patronage to get out there and set the whole thing up and make it happen. But obviously, I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens.
Well, we hope that that's going to happen. And then talk about the mastering duties. Do I have it right? Glenn Thomas and iTunes Audio with Kenny Aaronkoff or Bill Sherman. Do I have any of that right, or is that all totally wrong?
Yes. There's a couple of guys that I'm going to be honest with you right now.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't hate me.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who did what.
Okay. All right. That's all right.
Because Stronger, or one of them was like mastered by somebody. I think the iTunes Audio dude did the album.
Okay. Yeah.
Most of it. But obviously that's more of a process. It was someone that Mike knew, and he just we just sent the tracks off, got it done.
Yeah.
And that was it. So I didn't really have a lot of interaction, really.
Yeah.
But did a great job.
Good. So they all were good. All good guys. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
We'll talk about your songwriting process. How do you craft the songs? What's your, what's your process there,
Andrew? I mean, the process is a lot of sort of struggle, really, sometimes. Other times it comes easily. Yeah. But, you know, it's like lyrically, like guitar parts, I can smash out all day long. Mm-hmm. I can pick a guitar now and just play something. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that sounds cool. Let's write a song. Yeah. And then you can get something of a melody. But, you know, the real value in the song comes from the kind of message and the chorus and that kind of those hooks and melodies that work together, you know. So they're putting all those parts together can be tough. It's easy to get halfway through a song and kind of like pat yourself on the back, I'll finish it later.
Yeah.
And then that's the hard bit, is coming back and finishing it later. So a lot of it is really just me kind of sitting at home, or for this album, historically, was me working at home with my own sort of home studio and stuff, you know, just on my laptop and stuff, and just like doing demos. Usually it's just something happens inspirational wise, or an idea, and then I'll just record it to my phone, and it will go through a little bit of a process, and then I'll start recording it, like layering stuff onto Cubase, getting an idea together, then sort of taking it to the band or whatever, and then seeing what we can do with it. But more recently, we've kind of, with this lineup, we've sort of just been coming out with stuff like live in the room, and working out stuff
at your house. Do you guys do it at your house? Do they all come to your place?
No, we sort of go to a studio up the road, but there's like a rehearsal place not far.
Okay.
It's about sort of 10, 15 minute drive away, which is where I'm actually going after, after this.
Yeah. Good.
So we go there. So we sort of rehearse and we kind of work on new stuff and just, do band stuff, make loud noise and see what sounds good. And then from that, that's, can be quite inspirational as well. So then the song comes off the back of that, and we recently recorded a couple of new tracks, not on this album, but sort of new stuff that we didn't even use a metronome. We went into the studio,
and I hear it was Mike Oldfield's son's studio. Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Luke Oldfield. Yeah.
Well, talk about that, because for those that don't know, give them a little history of who Mike Oldfield was and how he became very famous.
Well, Mike Oldfield is the Tubular Bells guy. Yes. I mean, he obviously did a lot of stuff in his career, but obviously that was, I don't know, one of the biggest selling records of all time, wasn't it? I think, and everybody knows Tubular Bells.
I saw some statistic that said that that song or that album is like 47th on the list of albums out of the UK. Or something. I may have that wrong. Someone will have to fact check me on that. But I thought I read that, which is kind of crazy because there's so many great bands out of the UK. Now that Mike wasn't great, but that's high volume.
Yeah. I'm quite surprised he wasn't higher than that. Because I thought that record was one of them, like a bit like Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes.
Kind of everyone's had a copy of or knows.
Yes, of course.
But it's I don't know. I think they used to teach it. I think they used to play it to us in school sometimes. I don't know in music classes. I don't know what it's like in the US if they did that. But anyway, so Mike Oldfield is famous for like Tubular Bells. Everyone kind of knows that piece of music.
What's his studio like, Andrew?
It's really cool. So it's his. He didn't record that album in there, but he did a lot of his later albums. So it's actually attached to kind of the side of his sort of like manor house, big English country kind of house thing. Yeah. And the studio's great. It's all the original stuff, basically. So you've got Moogs in there. You've got analog, like tape, reel-to-reel tape. We recorded the drums, bass, guitar on and stuff.
So old school, back to Zeppelin, sort of that kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Proper analog.
Man,
so that's how we recorded it, and then just sort of overdubbed a few guitar bits and vocals. But like the core guitar, bass, drum track is all in there.
Wow. Well, not to get ahead of ourselves, because you haven't even released Hotter Than the Sun, but because what can people expect? Time frame wise, it sounds like fairly imminent. Basically, another release.
Well, we've only done a couple of songs so far, so we'll see. But I mean, it probably won't be this year, to be fair. But it won't be too far behind. Yeah. So, but we have got to record the rest of the stuff. So it's not there yet, but I think that's definitely the start of the next album.
Yeah.
So, but we're not right there with this one yet. So
we got to start this one release. So www.akandthe red kites, not to be confused with a red kite that's on a string, but the red kite that's a bird. And when you just referenced a little bit, learning Tubular Bells in school. When did you recognize, or what was the inspiration for you musically? Who encouraged you, Andrew? And when did you know you had a talent that maybe your peers didn't have for music and writing and guitar, etc.?
Probably on a tubular bells. No, it wasn't that. It was well, my sister used to play like the electric organ, like when I was young, and she was always having lessons and stuff.
Yeah.
But she wasn't really that into it. My dad made her practice every day. But anyway, I guess some of that maybe rubbed off on me, and then I wanted to sort of play something, and I got into like, you know, obviously electric guitar and kind of rock stuff, and just one Christmas when I was, I think, about 11. Yeah, I was 11. I got my first guitar. And,
parents,
it was like,
did you get it, or you got it, or work?
Yeah. Well, it was only a little nylon string, Spanish 3/4 size acoustic. You know, the kind of one they'd have at school when you were young or whatever.
Yeah.
And because they were like, "Well, see how you get on with this, and if you're still playing it, you know, 6 months from now or a year from now, we'll get an electric guitar." So there I was, learning to play it and basically playing it all the time, every day. And it soon became apparent I needed an electric guitar. So out I went and got it, and just sort of never really looked back from that, really. And just
and always have been in bands as a frontman, guitarist, lead singer, or?
Well, I always sort of sang growing up, but I never thought I'd be singing in a band. I always thought I was a guitar player.
Yes.
And I still consider myself a guitar player first. You know, because, so I got into obviously playing guitar, and I was in bands and I was playing guitar. Then when I was about, I think, 19, I sort of started singing for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years in a band. Yeah. And then I sort of knocked it on the head for a while, for about 4 years. Yeah. And then picked it up again and realised I'd done a terrible thing by giving up guitar for a little bit, stopping playing music. And I never looked back. And even then I was still playing in bands around London, not really singing. Then eventually, when I really started getting into like the bluesier stuff and the kind of blues rock stuff, and my sort of taste started maturing again, I don't know, as I got a bit older, I like couldn't really find anyone who was going to sort of sing this stuff the way I wanted them to. So I thought, well, I'm going to do it. And then that was when the singing stuff really got a bit more serious, you know, and we started doing like covers kind of stuff and original stuff, and was playing it all the gigs we could in this band. And I was kind of learning on the job to kind of sing, you know. And it just went from there, really. So yeah, but guitar's always been there, you know, since a very young age.
And your sister not playing any longer?
No. She gave up about 3 years after that. I don't know.
So I picked up that your parents were big supporters, obviously getting that guitar and then encouraging you. Did you have any detractors along the way that you know kind of go back now and go, nanny boo boo, I'm doing well, thank you?
Yeah, my sister.
Really?
No, she was. Well, no, I remember when I started playing. I remember her turning around to me one day, like sneering at me, going, "Well, you've been playing the guitar 4 years. Let me know. I've been playing for so long, you know." And I'm so like pleased with herself. She'd been playing for 4 or 5 years, sort of organ and stuff. And then a couple of years later, she just gave it up completely, and I never looked back. So,
and had no interest in the organ. Never had an interest in.
I started tinkering. The thing is, I'd love to play piano, and in a sense, I know my way around and the notes, obviously, and how to put chords together and all that stuff. Yes. But I've just never had one in front of me. I'm always too busy on a guitar, but I'd really like to have better, you know, keyboard skills, really.
Yeah. Who do you look to as a keyboard player? Who do you like? Like a Rick Wakeman? Does that resonate with you, or someone else?
Well, he's kind of cool. Well, I've always really liked sort of like John Lennon and stuff like that, you know, and his kind of solo stuff, like "Mother, You Hurt Me," and all that kind of stuff was cool. And obviously Imagine and that kind of vibe. Yep. I'm always amazed by Jules Holland as well, because he always seems to be able to play anything. I don't know if you get like Jules Holland over there, do you, live? He's like he's kind of a bit of a honky-tonk sort of jazz guy. He's quite big over here.
He's in the UK.
Yeah, out of the UK. Yeah. And he's sort of had a late night sort of, you know, music show, like later with Jules Holland. Yeah. It's been on for like 30 years now.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm tracking.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
stupid.
and he kind of has everybody on there. You know, whoever they are, however big they are, they want to go with Jules Holland.
So they need to have AK and the Red Kites on, Jules.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast, which I'm sure you will be, you want to have AK and the Red Kites on. And last time we chatted, you recommended 3 albums to listeners that you felt they should have in their library. Albert King's Blues Power, Led Zeppelin II, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, and Miles Davis' Kinda Blue. Do you want to add a couple more, Andrew, as we
That's 4, not 3. But
well,
yeah,
I know.
We can,
See, I can't count either. I can't say Mike's last name. Don't know what Red Kites are, and I can't count. But I'm American. Cut me some slack.
These things are complicated. It's fine. The whole story of this band's a bit complicated with the album and the EP, and they're recorded at the same time, but they come out at different times. Mike's been here, there, and everywhere. It's a different band now.
It's all good.
Yeah, the whole thing's quite complicated.
But you're the common denominator. Yeah, you're the common denominator.
Yeah, basically.
I love it.
One great album, and I got this out the other day.
Yeah.
Haven't heard it for ages, but Buddy Guy Blues Singer. Buddy Guy Blues Singer.
Yeah.
It's basically him stripped back with like sort of acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
And just basically doing all the Delta blues. It's from about 10 years ago. It's not a really old record, but it sounds like it could have been made in the 50s.
And God bless Buddy Guy. He's still out and doing it and making it happen at like 90 plus, I think. So
yeah.
So you have Chicago on your list to get up to.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, Chicago as well.
You're gonna have to stay like a month.
I know.
Andrew.
I know. I haven't even been to New York yet, so
big country.
Got to do that right. Yeah, I know.
Oh my God!
I'm fine to stay a month. Yeah. But one other album. What else? There's so many albums.
Yeah,
it's
but
really
that's a nice, good addition. And again, we give another shout out to Wes O'Neal for his hooking us up, and have to give another shout out to Darren McIntyre for his. I know he was giving you some stick on the conversation you had with him. You didn't have Scotland on your list to get to perform live. But we'd love to see you come to the States, and if you get through Atlanta, Wahid and I would love to host you here. So it's been a gas. The album is unbelievable. Hotter Than the Sun. You can get that on akandtheredkites.com. Get yourself a T-shirt at the same time. Support original music, not AI, man. We are down on AI like big time because this show is being broadcast by a human being that makes mistakes, screws up a lot. Wahid Gomes, who doesn't make any mistakes on the technology, and Andrew Knightley and the Red Kites, who are definitely human beings, like a beverage, adult beverage, play great original music. And Andrew, you got to get to rehearsal, and we have appreciated it deeply. Any parting thoughts, comments, anything you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, one more record. I just thought it's so hard because there are so many albums, and I thought when someone puts you on the spot, they say, "What's your favourite song?" It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, one more album to add to the list.
Yes.
In fact, 2. They're both Beatles albums because I've been getting back into the Beatles recently, big time.
Yes.
Help and Rubber Soul.
Yes.
Help and Rubber Soul. 2 amazing albums. And they're not the ones people necessarily mention, but go and listen to Help in particular, cover to cover.
You just read my mind all the way through. And get away, come on, y'all. Go back out and buy the album. As Andrew spent a lot of time crafting this Hotter Than the Sun and the order, et cetera, et cetera. So buy it the way he intended you to listen to it, even though the songs are geared to be standalones as singles. Andrew Agas, can't wait to see you in the States.
All right. Awesome, Mike.
God bless. Say hi to Ash and Rob and have a great rehearsal.
Will do.
We're out of here.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.